Welcome to Advocacy at 8. I am attorney Sandra Jill Poland, your community legal advocate. Advocacy at 8, my new YouTube legal series, launched October 1st, 2018. The legal education videos, which make up this series, will be posted daily on YouTube by 8 p.m. Each video, in 8 minutes or less, will educate you on an important legal issue. You and your community will be enlightened and empowered. Thank you for viewing Advocacy at 8. I am attorney Sandra Jill Poland, your community legal advocate. For the last couple of videos, we've been talking about dying without a will. Is it worth the cost? And we've been talking about celebrated individuals, musicians, artists, actresses who have died without a will and have caused some unintended consequences in regards to their beneficiaries receiving promptly or effectively the estates that these individuals have spent their entire lives, some 50, 60, 70 years, working hard to accumulate. We've talked about those celebrated, exceptional individuals who lived very uniquely but died without a will, which makes them in the majority, because as we've talked before, a majority of African Americans die without a will. We've talked about Bob Marley, Jimi Hendrix, Aretha Franklin, Prince, all dying without a will. And in regards to Prince's estate, as well as Jimi Hendrix and Bob Marley's estate, we've talked about how the family members have spent years in litigation in court, and all of that money going to the attorneys to argue over issues in the estate as opposed to going to the family members. Dr. Martin Luther King also died without a will. He died on April 4th, 1968, at 39 years old. Dr. King's tangible assets in his estate were estimated to be valued at about $30,000 at the time of his death. In today's dollars, that would be about $209,000. Dr. King probably did not count on the value of his intangible assets increasing, and that includes the value of his image and copyrighted works. And he probably also did not anticipate that the assets he owned, including his Bible and his Nobel Peace Prize, would dramatically increase in value after his death. His heirs did not agree on the best way to distribute those assets. His sons, Dexter King and Martin Luther King III, wanted to sell the Bible and the Nobel Peace Prize to raise funds for the estate. His surviving daughter, Reverend Bernice King, did not want those items sold, as she said that they were quote unquote sacred. Dr. King's eldest daughter, Yolanda, had passed in 2007. It was reported that she was the peacemaker among the 4 children. In any event, Martin Luther King III was the chairman of the estate and had asked Reverend Bernice King to turn over the Bible and the Nobel Peace Prize to the estate so that they could sell it. She felt that she could not do that, refused to turn it over, to turn those items over, and Martin Luther King III sued her in court. As of 2015, the heirs of Dr. King were still fighting in court over how these assets were to be distributed. In June of 2016, it was reported that a court had decided that the Bible, the traveling Bible that Dr. King used in his travels, did in fact belong to the estate. And shortly after that, in August of 2016, the 3 heirs came together and agreed that the Nobel Peace Prize was also going to be released to the estate. President Jimmy Carter reportedly served as a mediator among the King children, and he made a statement at the time that Reverend Bernice King was no longer going to stand in the way of the estate selling the traveling Bible and the Nobel Peace Prize. Reverend Bernice King made a statement herself saying that the children had come to an agreement, but that it was an embarrassing chapter that they had to litigate these issues for so many years. And in fact, if there were clearer instructions on behalf of how these items were to be distributed, then there was a possibility that the children of Dr. King would not have spent so much time and resources disputing the directions in court. So we have to look at it as a way to provide clear guidance to our loved ones so that they will not have to get caught up into trying to figure out what should have been done if the person themselves sets forth clear instructions, clear guidance as to what to do with their assets. Also, 12 years